Welcome to Elf-Centered, and part 3 of the tour diary, if you want to call it that, for the Theory of Revolution tour back in October of 2012. If you've been following along, if you haven't, go back and watch the first couple of parts. I'm really skipping through it pretty fast because I don't want to spend a half hour per gig talking about how we got along and how we learned each other and how we laughed and what happened when the Gossagles discovered my hats. Besides this, I brought along, a couple of military tunics, a pith helmet, a few other odds and ends, which, I said, please don't wear my hats, mostly to keep them off the head of a certain ex-tour manager, but they took pictures and teased me with them, and damn, I was good with it. They actually looked damn good in my hats. You gents need to buy some pith helmets. So, Wilmington, Delaware. Asylum 13. Awesome little club. Very, very close to, is it Philadelphia, I believe? Or Washington, D.C. or something? Why more? Very close. Why more people don't travel to Asylum 13, I don't know. If it's within rock throwing distance of you, go there. Great club. They put on fantastic events. I talked to Troy, who knows Gabriel very well. Gabriel is an awesome gent. We had the next day off after the tour. We were hosted in his house. We could park the vehicle nearby. It was just awesome. It really was. We also met Nesca, lovely, darling Nesca, who, again, treated us like fantastically. So, as we're driving, we kind of drive past because the place is not too obvious. We have to kind of turn around, always a challenge with Matilda, and come back. As we're driving in beside the club to offload, I did not see the overhead cable wires that got kind of caught up on the TV antenna for the wireless TV. So one gent got a mess of flares out and directed traffic around us, while another gent climbed up on top of the bus and helped the wires come up and over, and at the end of the night he helped it in reverse. We were given a dozen flares. I still have a number of them in my car. I have used some. They have come in very handy when fixing a flat on a busy highway, for example, or when backing Matilda up. I think we were given a dozen and a half. I think I've got half a dozen left. It's been 2 years. I should probably throw them out and replace them. The green room was great. The food was fantastic. I heard a rumor about the green room shower being a place that one of the Gossagles liked to shower, even though there was something growing in the corner. So I'm wondering if there was an alien green thing, kind of. Anyways, a couple of very impressive moments. As I'm filming the Gossagles, they start a new song cover. And I knew what it was within 4 notes. And it made, if I remember right, my reaction was, oh, you did not. Oh, you did, you glorious, lovable bastards. They covered Photograph by Def Leppard. Now, as an old school headbanger from the 70s, they did an awesome job. You probably heard me play it now and again when I've done a club night, because if it fits, it's just delicious. Another thing that really impressed me is there were 2 resident DJs. Now, I had carried a whole mess of CDs that I had burnt of 4 local bands. Delica M, Blaine Love, Defense Mechanism, and I'm trying to remember the 4th band. It'll come to me. But 4 songs from each of them. I had asked permission and was told, yes, you can. So I shared these with DJs wherever I went when I got to meet the DJ, and said, this is stuff from back home, see if you like it. Well, I would guess that one of the resident DJs kind of queued through it while one of the bands was playing, because at one point between 2 of the bands, I got to hear a Glenn Love song in Wilmington, Delaware. So obviously, right off the bat, he loved it. That's the kind of thing that is so rare to show such support, is so incredible. It's something I love doing. If I'm handed something new I haven't heard of before, especially by someone local, I will try to listen to it that very night so I can get it on if I'm able to, if it fits. It really impressed me. Day off, a stack of people went to see Suicide Commando and had a great time. Oh, sorry, After the event, we went back to Gabriel's place and enjoyed and relaxed and talked and drank and kind of did a thing they do with all the new people they meet in the backyard, kind of a sharing sort of thing around the fire, which was just fantastic. At that point, I had just lost my mother by a couple of months, and it was a great place for me to kind of remember and share a little bit about her. It was comforting. It really was. It touched me. And not in a bad show the gentleman of the court on the doll. It was a little piece of everybody else's heart and soul. And that, in this modern day and age of running around and caring only about yourself, was fantastic. I can't say enough good things. So, they went off to watch Suicide Commando. I cleaned Matilda and vacuumed and stuff. Fixed the flat, finally, on the trailer. She was kind of looking beat up. Took care of her some, and we kind of rested and relaxed. You know, kind of took it easy. Now, up to this point, I knew that one of the days was an appearance in New York City, in Manhattan. Up to this point, Jonathan and Christian were looking for an actual tour bus or truck driver. They got close a couple of times. Every day, last I saw them before people would retire for sleep, when that happened, I tell them, I will drive everywhere and anywhere, but I will not drive in Manhattan. Every day I said this. We left Wilmington, Delaware, and I drove in Manhattan. She did indeed fit through the Lincoln Tunnel. Just. Lincoln Tunnel is 13-foot clearance. We're at 12-foot 10. You don't want to hit any cigarette butts and bump that little bit. Fortunately, the club was not far into Manhattan, and I drove like a native New Yorker, with the window down, a cigarette clenched in my teeth, screaming, yelling, and swearing at people. Waving my hands. Being aggressive. And we got there safely and in pretty good time. We loaded into this beautifully massive club. They were doing a Comic-Con after party. I don't know how well they advertised it. It was busy, but it was disappointing in the turnout. It was also early. It started at 7 o'clock. Now, this is something that apparently New York City clubs do that I've not seen anywhere else in the world yet, haven't been anywhere else in the world, they might do it, is they'll have one format from 7 to 11, shut down, change over, and have another format from 11:30 or midnight to something else. In this case, it was house or hip-hop or something, because there was a large crowd of African American and Jamaican Americans and such outside waiting as we were loading out. So, we did the show. It was a lot of fun. There were issues with payment because the turnout was much poorer than expected. I hope, Jonathan, that you didn't need to get money in the end, because the New York promoters they're usually pretty good. And I was remembered by some of the people in New York, having had been there before to DJ and do some stuff with various people a couple of years back. And that made me happy that I obviously left a favorable impression, or at least a neutral one and not a negative one. We get outside, everything's loaded, the band's all standing around the bus and with a couple of natives. And I said, okay, so we're heading to New Jersey for a hotel, because I had arranged with a couple of people who were driving home to New Jersey to guide us out, back through the Lincoln Tunnel. I was told, well, there's an after party down south. And I said, okay, you can go to the after party, grab a cab. One of the Native Americans, sorry, wrong way to put it, one of the New Yorkers said, well, we were promised a ride there in the tour bus. So I looked at them and said, okay, from where we are, do you know about the shape of New York and Manhattan? And of course he says, yeah. I said, so as you head down, things narrow. The streets, the side streets become narrower, things become busier, there's a little mucking around there, there's a lot more parking and double parking. And we have this huge beast of a bus. And one of them says, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's darn near a quote, well, 2 weeks ago we had My Life with the Thrill Kill called here, and they joined us for the after party. And I said, and how did that work out? Well, they drove their tour bus down there. They did get kind of stuck on one of the side streets because of some idiots double parking, so they couldn't leave until about 10 o'clock in the morning because, you know, they had to wait for people to move their cars. And I went, and we're not going. We're not taking Matilda down there because you're funneled. And if you don't take one of the side streets where you could get trapped, you are funneled right down to the point. And I said, and guess what's beyond the point? And they went, what? I said, the ocean. And Matilda does not swim. I am not going through Battery Park and plunging into the salt water. Not happening. So, they all went off in cabs, and we followed people out to New Jersey and camped in a hotel parking lot. A couple of people got a room. Some others stayed in the bus. And in the, you know, through the night, I guess, while I was sleeping, people, or in the morning, people showed up by cab, complaining about the cost and everything else, and I said, I'm sorry, but, yeah, rules is rules. Getting out of New Jersey was interesting because a lot of the underpasses are much shorter than we are, so it was kind of spiraling around to find the underpasses we could fit through. And then it was a day off. So we did some traveling back to Wilmington. The Gossagles went home, and we were sad to see them go. Nesca showed up, got us a hotel room so that certain people, like the married couple in Devon, UK, could have a night of their own together in the hotel room. People could shower. She took us to a laundromat so we could do laundry. Found out I am also the laundering agent, so collect everyone's laundry and get it done and, you know, everything. And then we had a Walmart barbecue. It was so American. We got slabs of meat and pulled out some booze and parked in the far corner of a Walmart parking lot. And one of the guys from Dye sector got a barbecue and some briquettes and stuff. And we had a Walmart parking lot barbecue, which was really awesome, actually. It was a lot of fun. There were very friendly moments. Not just, hey, we're all bands together on a tour, let's get along. There were points during which we talked and connected well. It was, these people they're friends who have become in some ways family. They really are. So that's part 3 of 9 parts. Keep tuning in. And if you have any comments, or if any of you people that were on the tour remember anything, by all means, say hello. And thank you very much for watching me ramble on and on about this one experience. I'm sure all you musicians have done this and much more, but this was new to me, kinda. And wow. Remember, if life offers you an adventure, take it.